Jon Renau has added a new blonde to their California Blonde collection. It's called Catalina Blonde. And what I'm going to do today is not only show you the new Catalina Blonde, but we're going to talk about the other California blondes and how they compare. As I go through the different colors, I'll be showing you some different styles from the Jon Renau collection. I'll give you some of the details, but it won't be a full review of each of these wigs. All right, so let's get started with the new Catalina Blonde, and I'm wearing Drew. Drew has a lace front. Hopefully you can see that there. And she has a mono top. So I have her parted on the left, but because she has a mono top, you could part her elsewhere. I love this style. The long layers around the face. And before I tell you any measurements, let me tell you my measurements. My circumference is 21 inches. Ear to ear, I'm 12 inches. Forehead to nape, I'm 13 inches. My face from forehead to chin is 8 inches. My forehead is 3 inches. And my neck is 3 inches. Oh, and the width of my face, right here, the widest part is 10 inches. So I give you all of those measurements so that when you take your measurements, you can compare how the wig looks on me to how it would look on you. For example, if I have an 8-inch face and you have a 7-inch face, then the wig is going to come down further below your face than it does on mine. And, all of the measurements play into that, but that's just a brief example. Now, if you don't know how to measure your head, no worries. I made a video how to do that with all of the measurements I just gave you, and I linked that in the description below. All right, so Drew is described as versatility meets vibrant beauty in the long layered look, and you can see these long layers around the face. The lace front and mono top provide multi-directional natural movement, and the silken HD fiber can be heat styled. So this is a heat friendly wig. And two of these wigs up here are not heat friendly, and we'll talk about that. This one is, and that does make a difference usually in how shiny a blonde is. So you'll see that difference. And one of them I've worn a lot, so it's less shiny, and one of them is brand new, so that'll be more shiny, and we'll talk about that. All right, let me spin and show you the style. So pretty. All right, her measurements, the crown is 11 inches. The sides are 8 inches. The nape, 9.25 inches. The bang, 10.5 inches. So if my face is 8 inches, that looks right. And she weighs 4.3 ounces. She feels nice and light. She's low density. I don't feel any permatease. And as far as how she's fitting me fine. We'll check where the adjusters are when I take the cap off. And in the crown, there really isn't much extra space, maybe a tiny bit. But I don't have much hair under here. So if you have a bigger head or more hair, the extra space will be good for you. Okay, so let's talk about the color Catalina Blonde. It's a neutral rooted, it's a medium brown root, highlighted color. And it is neutral because it has some warmer tones and some cooler tones. And you can see these cooler tones right around my face here. They describe it as the latest addition to our best-selling California Blonde color collection. The cool natural blonde expands our color palette with a shaded root for depth and a bold money piece for a bright face framing pop. The result, a beautifully highlighted dimensional salon-inspired shade with modern appeal. And so they consider it cool. I consider it a little bit more neutral because of these warmer tones. And I'll take it outside and show you the color so that you can see it. It definitely has the coolness around the face. And overall, when I step back, you can see the coolness. But just because of some of those warmer tones, I would consider it more a neutral. All right, so let's take this color outside. I came out here to show you the color, and my sister Melissa, who takes care of the garden. If you see my garden in any pictures and it looks beautiful, because of her.
Yeah, I take care of gardens, not hair. Look, I mean, it's not a good day for me. Sorry you had to
Well, you were
witness
just
this.
gardening. You look great. Look at these flowers. Are they gorgeous?
And basil.
Oh, it smells good too.
Yeah.
What do you think of Catalina Blonde?
I like it. I really like it. Again, I like the flow of it. Like, I like how it's kind of loose and it looks very natural.
Yeah.
And summery.
Yeah.
Love this time of year. Hope you guys have a good one.
All right, I'm going to spin now.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay.
All right, so this is the Catalina Blonde. You can see it's lighter up front. And I'm going to just spin around so that you can see it in all different lighting here. There we go. And I'll try to take you around my head too. All right, let's walk through the house. That was a nice surprise. I love when she stops by. Okay, so now going in the kitchen, I'm going to turn on the lights so that you can see it in the lighting. Hey, Andrew. Oh, it's my husband's birthday. Happy birthday. A lot happening here today. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the cap. And here you go. You have your lace front here, your full mono top, the velvety ear tabs, open wefting, and an extended velvety nape with Velcro adjusters. And they're in a little bit. I could definitely take them in a little bit more. It was fitting nicely, but there's plenty of room to go tighter, and you can go a little bigger. And there is some stretch in the cap as well. So this definitely goes to an average, and probably even slightly larger than an average. All right, there's Drew in the new Catalina Blonde. Beautiful. Okay, this is one of my favorites. This is Clementine in 12FS12, also known as Malibu Blonde. Clementine is not a heat-friendly wig, and I've had her for some time now. So the shine has been taken down because when you have a regular synthetic, especially a blonde, a lot of times it'll be shinier than its heat-friendly counterpart. So when I first got Clementine, she was shinier, and I used a dry shampoo on her, and then over time the shine also lessens naturally. And you'll see the difference between this and L, which is a brand new regular synthetic, so it hasn't had any product in it. All right, I'm going to spin and show you Clementine. We'll talk about the style and the color a little bit. I just love this style. I think it's so elegant and easy, and you could put her up. I usually just pull a few pieces down in front when I do that. There's so many things you could do with her. All right, so Clementine is described as the epitome of the perfect bob with a contemporary twist. This classic shoulder-length bob features edgy, blunt cut ends, infusing a bold and modern touch into the timeless style. Crafted with precision, the blunt cut creates a clean, straight line at the ends, delivering a sharp and contemporary aesthetic. And I really do love the look of that. Clementine boasts a well-balanced and flattering silhouette, ensuring you exude confidence with every wear. Equipped with a smart lace front, let me show you that there, and a monofilament top. So again, I have it parted on the left. That's naturally where I like my part, but you could part her elsewhere. This wig offers a natural front hairline and multi-directional parting for style customization. Experience amazing movement thanks to the long side layers, providing versatility and endless styling options. Elevate your style game and make a bold statement wherever you go with Clementine. And like I said, just so pretty, so easy to wear. All right, Her measurements, the crown, 12.5 inches. The sides, 8.75 inches. The nape, 4.25 inches. The bang, 11.5 inches. And so I'm 8 inches here, so you can see that. And she weighs 4.6 ounces. I don't feel any permatease in here. She feels low density. And as far as how she fits, she's fitting me perfectly. Now, I've probably adjusted the adjusters because I've worn her so much. So we'll take a look at where they are after we come in from outside. But first, let's talk about the color. 12 FS12 Malibu Blonde. It's warm, and she's a highlighted color as well. So hopefully you can see that there. All right, she's a light gold brown, light natural gold blonde, pale natural gold blonde blend shaded with light gold brown. So with all of that gold and the browns, you would expect that she would be warm. And she really is warm in tone. So nice. All right, let's take this color outside. Okay, here we are, 12 FS12 Malibu Blonde. I'm just gonna spin. I wanted you to get to see Melissa's garden, so I moved back a tad. There we go. We got cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, all kinds of stuff. And let me take you around my head, as well as zinnias. Lots of zinnias. They're so pretty. Pretty color. All right, I'm gonna walk in through the house again. Here we are in the kitchen light. Okay, let's take a look at the cap. All right, here you go. You have your lace front, your mono top, open wefting, velvety ear tabs, extended velvety nape, and you can see I do have the adjusters in somewhat. There's still plenty of room to go tighter and more room to go a little bit wider, and there's definitely stretch. So again, I would say this goes to average and maybe slightly larger. Okay, there you go. Clementine in Malibu Blonde. Okay, if you're in my Facebook group, you know that I had a photo shoot at the DMV and I wore Holly. And the reason I wore Holly is because I love her and I know that picture's going to be around for 4 years, so I wanted to make sure that I wore something that I loved. I'm wearing Holly in Venice Blonde. That is 22 F16 S8. I just wanted to make sure I got those numbers right. I'm going to spin, show you the style, and then we'll talk about it and the color. Holly has a hand-tied cap, a lace front, and I like how they brought the light colors up to the front there, and a mono top, so you can see I have it parted a little bit more to the left, but if I wanted to part it elsewhere, I could do that. And also, Holly has a little bit of a bang. Now, you could wear it more of a full bang. I would need to trim it just a little bit, but that would be really cute too. I wear it off to the side, and I just love the natural looking wave in this style. I'm going to read to you how they describe this style, Jon Renau. They say Holly is casual sophistication. With a short shoulder length and subtle natural wave, Holly gives effortless charm. Trending bangs and high heat fiber ensure versatility. So this is a heat friendly fiber. And you could curl her, straighten her, but I actually just love her the way she came. Now it also says, while low permatease provides a natural appearance, I was surprised to hear there's any in a hand-tied cap, and I really don't feel it. So I'm not really sure where it's at, maybe just to give it a little bit of shape, but It's not your poofier permatease for sure. The cap design has the smart lace front that's extended ear tab to ear tab. You have the full monofilament top, and it is hand tied. Now, if you haven't worn a hand tied wig, there's a few benefits. Number one, the fibers fall more naturally because they're sewn in individually or a few fibers at a time, versus in strips, our hair doesn't grow in strips, so that's not as natural. Also, if you want to put it up or if the wind should blow, there's no wefting to see, so you don't have to worry about covering up any wefting. Okay, as far as the measurements go, the crown is 11.5 to 12 inches. The sides are 8 inches. The nape, 2.75 inches. The bang, 4.25. Now my forehead is 3 inches, and that's why I would need to trim it a little bit if I wanted to wear the full bang. And she weighs just 3.5 ounces, so very light, low density, really nice, easy style. This is right out of the box. I've worn her several times, but I've never changed up this style. All right, now let's talk about the color. 22F16S8 is a neutral to cool blonde. So this is saying neutral to cool, and they were calling Catalina Blonde cool, and I said I actually consider it neutral because it has some warm tones. But I just want to show you the difference. Catalina Blonde is definitely cooler than Venice Blonde. We'll turn together. There we go. Yeah, so hopefully you can see that there. This is definitely cooler than the Venice Blonde. And much like density, when you watch reviewers and they talk about warm and cool colors, it's really a matter of preference and opinion, how you see colors. So I try to give you the best picture of the color by taking it outside and through the house and then here in the studio as well. So let's take Venice Blonde outside. Okay, here we are, Venice Blonde. You can see the rooting there. I'm going to take you around the head first. All of a sudden it got a little overcast out here, so I think you're seeing the color pretty well. All right, let's go through the house. Yep, it's going to start raining. This is great. It will water my flowers. Okay, through the kitchen. All right, and let's take a look at the cap. There we go. You have the extended lace front all the way down there on your ear tabs, the full mono top. This is a hand-tied, fully hand-tied cap. Sometimes you'll see some closed wefting down here. Not in this case. They have the entire thing fully hand-tied. So you can see that, and you can see my hands through there. No wefting to show. Velvety ear tabs. And you can see I have her adjusted in quite a bit. So there's definitely room to go larger and smaller as well. And there is stretch in this cap also. So again, I would say this goes to average and even slightly larger than average. Sometimes a hand-tied cap will feel smaller, but not in this case. Okay, so I kind of messed Holly up a little bit, but there you go, Holly in Venice Blonde. Okay, how many of you can guess which wig this is without me saying a word? This is Jon Renau's iconic wig. I'm going to spin and show you the style first, and then we'll talk about it. I bet a lot of you got it. This is Ignite in Palm Springs Blonde. I love this style. When I was first looking at wigs, I kept seeing Ignite and thinking, I want that wig. And I got it in shaded mocha and wore it so much. Ignite is a great style right out of the box. It does have permatease, and I think it's so important in shaping the wig. That's what gives it the style that it has. Ignite has a lace front, and while it doesn't have any monofilament, the lace front goes further back. So it still gives you that illusion of part, which I think is really smart. Ignite is a heat-friendly wig, so you can restyle it. I've never restyled mine just because I love this style so much. All right, so the way they describe Ignite is let the sparks fly. The angled layers of this heat-friendly wig can be flipped out with a flat iron for a sassy shag or blow-dried over a round brush for a super sleek bob. The smart lace cap creates a beautiful natural hairline. So pretty. All right, the crown is 5.75 inches. The sides 5.25, the nape 1.5, and the bang 8 inches, so the length of my face, which is 8 inches. And she weighs just 2.7 ounces. And I usually like to just fluff her up a little bit and stick her behind my ear. Wear it with some nice large earrings. So pretty. Okay, so let's talk about Palm Springs Blonde. Palm Springs Blonde was considered the coolest of the California blondes until Catalina Blonde came along. I'm going to compare the two for you in a second. Palm Springs Blonde FS17101S18 is described as a cool light ash blonde with platinum and white highlights and a dark ash blonde root. So that's interesting to me because the root looks darker than an ash blonde to me. And I'm going to show you the Catalina Blonde here, which has a root of 8, which is considered medium brown, but it doesn't look, to me, as dark as the root on this. And so, you know, numbers are a guideline, but I really think watching reviews is the way to go because you're going to actually get to see the color. So the Catalina Blonde has the very cool highlights around the face there. And it does have some warmer tones in it. That's why I said cool/neutral. But here you go. You can see the difference. These are the two coolest in the collection in the California Blondes. All right, so let me take this color for you outside so you can get an idea of what it looks like in natural lighting. Okay, here we are with Palm Springs Blonde. So hopefully you can see the rooting there. And the color, I'm going to just spin for you. And take you around my head. Sorry, I have another wig in my other hand because I wanted to show you out in the sunlight the comparison with the Catalina Blonde. So hopefully you can see that there. The cooler piece is up front. All right, now let's take Palm Springs Blonde through the house. Hopefully I didn't make you too dizzy with all of that. Okay. And through the kitchen, I'm going to turn on the lighting. There we go. Gotta grab the mannequin head. All right, and back upstairs. Okay, and let's take a look at the cap. Okay, so you can see here, you have your front lace that goes further back, and that's what gives you that illusion of part up front here. You do have some permatease in here, as I said, giving it that beautiful shape. Open wefting. The velvety ear tabs, extended nape with the Velcro adjusters. I have them all the way out. I could have put them in a little bit more for myself. Let me just see. I would say that the regular Ignite, and it does come in a large as well, the regular one just goes to average. I wouldn't say it goes larger than average. If you have a larger head than average, I would get the large Ignite. All right, and there you go, Ignite in Palm Springs Blonde. All right, meet Elle in Laguna Blonde, also known as FS24-102S12. I am going to spin for you and show you the style, and then we'll talk a little bit more about her. All right, now one thing I want to highlight is that she is a regular synthetic. She's not heat friendly, and I think you can see that she's shinier. Now when I first got Clementine, she was just as shiny. And you can see over time and with the use of a dry shampoo, the shine has definitely come down in Clementine. And I know a lot of people are concerned about shine when they get a regular synthetic, but I just wanted to highlight that there are things that you can do to take that shine down if you want to. Some people actually really like the shine, and a regular synthetic is great for that. In a regular synthetic, it's the blondes in particular that shine the most. Okay, so let's talk about the style. Jon Renau describes it as master the classic come hither look with this beguiling style. The smart lace front, there you go, and monofilament top. So you have a part here, I have it parted on the left, but you can change that up if you like. Of this long bob allow multi-directional styling for versatility. And I really like this style. To me, it's almost a cross between Clementine with the way the ends go and Drew with the layer in the front here. Now, Drew has a longer layer around the face, but this does have a shorter layer right here, which I like. Okay, measurements. The crown is 14 inches. The sides, 10 inches. The nape, 6.5 inches. The bang, 7.5 inches. So you can see the bang is shorter than my face there, which is 8 inches. And she weighs just 4 ounces. She feels like she does have a little bit of permatease in here. And I would say still low density. But you know, permatease can add to the feeling, making it feel a little bit more dense. But I think that permatease just adds to the shape around here. Really pretty style. All right, let's talk about the color. The color, Laguna Blonde, FS24-102S12, is a warm highlighted color. And you can see it's warmer, it has more of that gold in it, and I consider gold to be a warm color. It's described as a light natural gold blonde with pale natural gold blonde highlights. Hopefully you can see that there. Shaded with a light gold brown, and your 12 is a light brown, so you can see that there. All right, let me take the color outside for you. Okay, so here you go, Laguna Blonde. You can see it has the lighter brown rooting. I'll take you around my head here. And let's spin. Such a pretty style and color. I love all of these. Okay. And we'll go through the house. I like this little flip here. Just adds a little something. Through the light. All right, let's take a look at the cap. And here we go. You have your lace front, your mono top, open wefting, the velvety ear tabs with the metal stays. This has a regular nape, it's not extended, and Velcro adjusters. And let me just take this one off because I took it right out of the box and put it on. And I could have tightened her a little bit. Yeah, the adjusters are right at the ends. And I definitely could have tightened it up for me a bit. And there's plenty of stretch. So again, I would say that this goes to average and even a little bit larger than average. All right, so there you go. This is L in Laguna Blonde. Okay, I'm back and Drew in Catalina Blonde. I wanted to give you another look at the new color. Let me know what you think of Catalina Blonde and of the other colors and styles. I always love hearing your feedback, and you can leave your feedback in the comments below. Also, if you're wondering how to make different colors work for you, you don't have to be stuck in just cool tones or warm tones. There are things that you can do to make colors work for you. I did a video about that. I'm going to link it right here, so go check it out if you're interested. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.